Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So time to have a look at Ultimate Viessa in the Axion Plains for mobbing purposes. Now Viessa has been a solid Descendant from the very beginning. In fact, even before the game launched during the closed beta and open beta days, we played a lot of Viessa because she was always one of the starter Descendants. And she has always been easy to use. Her skills do damage. All four of her skills can do damage. She's easy to understand. The only sort of downsides with Viessa has always been a lack of range on her skills, and maybe her MP consumption can be high. However, even those two things don't seem to bother her that much in the Axion Plains, because I went there thinking the range might be an issue, but honestly, I did not really notice much of a problem. And in fact, she actually does a lot of good damage with her second ability, the Frost Roar, so you can actually create some range. And the fourth ability, the Blizzard, actually hits very, very hard against the elite, especially the new enemies like the Razor Claw, the Scarab, things like that. So she's actually turning out pretty good. I'm getting comparable times to Ultimate Clay in some of the missions in the Axion Plains. So what I'll do is I'll discuss the adjustments I've made to Ultimate Viessa, show you the build and stuff, and at the end, as usual, I'll put the first creator mission solo to show you how to play her and how she does, just using her skills, so you can keep an eye on the MP consumption, how I'm playing her, how she's doing against the elite enemies and things like that. I have equipped the exterminator just to take care of the ships here and there, but even that isn't necessary. Now, before I begin, couple of things. On the 4th of September, we are getting the Husky Fellow. The Husky Fellow will give you some MP back every 30 seconds, so 16% MP back. So if you are struggling with MP on your Viessa, you may want to consider using the Husky as your dog with Viessa. And the other thing is, with the start of Season 3, Viessa actually got a buff. As the devs say, numerical buffs. So her MP cost has been reduced for her fourth ability, cooldown has been reduced, and the power has been increased across the board. So all her abilities do a little more damage, not by much, but enough to make a nice difference. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's have a look at the build. So we are using the standard Absolute Zero Transcendent mod, and what this does is it converts all her skills into chill and singular. Normally, depending on the mods that you use, she has the fusion and the tech skills. Fourth is tech, first three are fusion and so on. But with Absolute Zero, we get all singular, making our life very, very easy. The trigger module I'm using is Power Beyond. This works very well with the fourth ability because fourth is the global dot, and so this is actually useful. I mean, Power Beyond is useful for everyone, but it actually makes sense for VS's fourth ability. Now, the changes they made with the recent buff was the fourth ability. The cooldown was reduced. Initially, it was 60 seconds. Now it's 50 seconds. So now with a 90% cooldown, we are getting 5 seconds. Notice the duration. The duration now is more than the cooldown. So your blizzard will be up by the time you get your second blizzard ready. So you can have two blizzards up at the same time, meaning a lot more damage. So that is the change, and the increase to damage is only slight, so not that big a deal. Now, as far as the mods are concerned, it's pretty much standard stuff here. I have put one increased HP for the Axion Plains, just so that you're not a glass cannon and you go down very easily. However, we are still going to get maximum range. We are still going to get maximum cooldown. We are still going to get 100% crit. So don't worry about any of that. So nimble fingers, MP conversion, focus on chill, focus on singular. All these will give you the cooldown. Now you can use power increase, but the only difference it will make is you'll have more base power. With this, you have more chill. And it's about the same. So I'm going with focus on chill because I want the cooldown. Increased HP, like I said. We want skill insight and skill concentration for crit rate, crit damage. Frontlines emergency measures, so crit rate, crit damage. We are overcapped on skill critical hit rate, but doesn't matter because we get crit damage from here as well. And we can use some other points in the Arche Tuning board. Expansion for range, and that is it. Very simple build. Power Beyond, Absolute Zero. That is the build. Now, when it comes to the reactor, we are using Frozen Singularity Reactor, and we want critical hit damage and skill cooldown. Again, we want the cooldown. So crit damage, because Viessa has 100% crit and high crit damage, so we're taking that. For the external components, this is where I've made a slight change. So I've gone with 2 pieces of Firebrand for the range and duration because she benefits from both those things. This is why we are getting 6.4 duration on our fourth ability. And then we are using the Hunter sensor and Hunter processor to give us more cooldown, 4% cooldown, so that we have the 90% cooldown. Previously, I was using the Plague set. The major difference if you go with the Plague set is you will get slightly more HP. So we are getting about 14,619. If you go with 2 pieces of Plague over here, you will get about 17,000 something. I don't think it's needed in terms of the HP. You'll also get 5% more singular skill power. So minor difference. So that's why I went with the range and duration, because we can benefit from both those things from the 2 pieces here. Now, besides this, with the Arche Tuning, I've gone with a slightly different one. I've skipped the enhanced skill power. We've taken the skill power here. We've taken the MP recovery, taken all the skill in the middle. We want the range because we want to get the maximum range possible. She doesn't have a lot of base range, so we want it to be the max we can get. We go in the middle, take all the MP. We take the big cooldown. Again, we want 90% cooldown, so we want all of this. This side, I've gone and taken the crit damage all the way up to the purple one. I've also taken the purple MP over here and the purple MP over here, so that we have no shortage of MP. And then with the remaining, we've gone up here and we've taken Frostbite vulnerability. Now you can take Frostbite cohesion or the chill cohesion. And basically this one I've taken because we have decent amount of chill power with the vulnerability against the elites, the enemies that don't go down in one hit. You will inflict the status, and then when you inflict the status, you will do more damage. So this is handy against the elites in the Axion Plains. So with all of this, what we end up is over here, we have 0.972 chill power. Base power, we get 0.24. So we are getting 0.15 from the power beyond trigger module and 0.9 from the quantum domain. We'll come to the reinforcement in a bit. We got 0.972 chill power. So if you take the chill cohesion, you'll get a little more here. But I would say getting a little bit here and taking the vulnerability is more useful. We have 100% crit rate, 90% cooldown, and 4.388 times crit damage. Okay. For the range, if you look over here on the fourth ability, under the Blizzard section, you can see continuous damage range 4 meters, and we have maxed it out to 10 meters, which is the maximum. 250% is the maximum, so 10 meters is 250. Similarly, the explosion damage range radius is 6 meters. We have maxed it out to 15, which is again 250%. So that is the maximum we can get, and we are getting that through a combination of the Arche Tuning, through the 2 pieces of the Firebrand. We are getting the 6.5 range, and we are also using the Inversion Reinforcement with the quantum domain. When we have the 15 stacks of quantum domain, we are getting that, and this is how we are able to max out our range. It doesn't have a lot of range, so we need to max it out. For the Inversion Reinforcement, I'm taking Focus Boost to reduce our skill cost, and we are also taking the Selective Neurostimulation to again reduce the skill cost. The third one is a little more flexible, but I've taken the Deploy Resonance Device. This is for Nell basically, but the first part, skill duration plus 4.9% for 10 seconds. So why not take a little more duration if you can, because we already have 90% cooldown. So that is basically Viessa. Now when it comes to the weapon, you can use any gun you like. I have this one set up for the Void Erosion Purge 10 because I use Viessa for Void Erosion Purge 10. I've been using Nell a little more recently, but the Viessa has been my main descendant for the Void Erosion Purge 10. So I have this gun set up, the dagger for Viessa, and so you can use this if you want to shoot. But yeah, like I said, you won't really need to shoot at the enemy. And yeah, I'll leave you with the footage of the first creator mission, and you can see the time and how I use it. And basically, she's quite comfortable. I'm getting comparable times to Ultimate Glay with the Exterminator. With the Relic Glaze a little bit faster, like 10-20 seconds faster, but I'm still getting very close times with Viessa just using her skills. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Descendant, a large cluster of breach creatures has been detected in the area. Breach creature response confirmed. Inbound to location. Descendant, bogus comms traffic is increasing at your location. It looks like Legion of Breach troops have been deployed. Bogus special assault ship identified. Bogus special assault ship spotted. I'll ice you all. Scatter. Stay with me. How dare we break my shield? Descendant, requesting takedown of enemy assault ship. Descendant, I've picked up a mutant material formation signal in the skies nearby. Take this. It's mine. Picking up void mutant signals. Be careful. Shall we race? How dare we break my shield? One ice coming up. Breach follower squad approaching in encircling formation. Respond immediately. This is the ultimate chill. You can't escape. Bogus special assault ship spotted. Stay where you are. Descendant, primary tactical objective confirmed in Operation Zone. Please take it out.